Olá pessoal, esse é mais um Fala Carlão e você já sabe, o Fala Carlão agora é na prateleira de cima do agronegócio internacional. Aqui do meu lado, Huub Te Plate, que é o CEO global da Genex. Então, ele é o homem. This is the man. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Thank you for coming here at my program, Fala Carlão.
Really enjoy it. Thank you for having me here.
Here, I used to say that nobody was born president or something like that, but everybody has a history and beautiful history, and I would like to know your history first of all.
Oh, my history is I grew up on a small farm in the Netherlands, and so my father worked for many, many years in an AI cooperative breeding cows, and that's how I got to really enthusiastic about breeding, working with a cooperative, and also genetics. And so I went to Agriculture University to study genetics. And so after that, when I graduated many, many years ago, I started working in commercial international sales of genetics. So that's my history. And then about 22 years ago, I moved from the Netherlands to the United States. So I live in Wisconsin. So I have a kind of a family in the Netherlands and family in the United States. And a lot of friends in Brazil, of course. So it's kind of a global...
One friend more.
There we go, yes.
In Brazil.
Yes.
About Brazil, what are your impression of this country, of this time that you... I can imagine that you... when your last travel here?
Well, I've been here probably about 6-7 times at least that I recall. But what impresses me is just the vast size of the country and the production potential in agriculture, and it's really, really massive. And also the tremendous progress that I've seen over the years in agriculture production. The use of technology, the improvement in cattle, and first and foremost, I think the passion for cattle. I mean, I see that with anybody we visit. I mean, I visit quite a few beef producers, dairy producers in Brazil, and all of them have one thing in common: a huge passion for making cows better, for sustainability, for high production, for food production, and for making sure that they have a legacy built on their farm or ranch and leave that to the next generation. So that passion is really, really unique for a lot of the Brazilian farmers.
I think the passion is the secret for everything in the life, no?
Oh, yes, it is. Without passion, it just becomes a job, becomes work.
Yes.
And if you're in dairy farming, and I know there's farmers and ranchers out there, if you do this for working, it's hard work. It's hard work in any conditions that the climate gives us, and every day you have to be there. So you have to have passion to do that with enthusiasm day after day after day. So the passion has to be there. Yeah.
So very good. I like to talk about this theme, but let's talk about Genex now.
Okay.
Tell me about Genex around the world, the numbers, how is Genex at this moment?
Okay, Genex is doing very, very well. So we are from origin a farmer-owned cooperative in the United States, and for many years we've been exporting semen. And so exporting around the world to 60, 70 countries on a continuous basis. And recently, and I'll talk about the last 15 years, we've made quite a few investments throughout the world. So we're turning into a global organization, and that's really, really exciting. So we are one of the largest AI cooperatives in the world with a global presence. So our goal is to be global, but yet local. And you see that here in Brazil as well, as we are here right now at the Genex Brazil facility, that we are global yet have local presence. So I think that's important.
That's very important. Sergio here is the president here in Brazil.
Right.
He's my friend before Genex. So I know him since the first day that we started in Genex, but I think it's a dream for him to make this day today.
Yes. Sergio, when I started working with Brazil, we were looking for a manager and we hired Sergio. 2 years later, he came with a big plan and says, Huub, we have to have our own production facility in Brazil. And at that time, he said, no, we could not do it. We could not afford it. And it's like, no, we can produce semen in the United States. We can produce as much as you want, and you can just import it. And here we are, about 10 years later. So finally, I can tell Sergio, you were right. We have to have a home presence in Brazil, because the market has really grown and everything like that. So he has been really, really instrumental to our success here. He has not only convinced us to have a local production center, he has also done a fantastic job hiring people, developing people, and making sure we have staff that is really the best they can be for the producers. Because that's ultimately what makes a difference. And so he's done a really, really great job of that. So I call him my friend, and we discuss a lot. And that's good, that's healthy. We discuss a lot, and we change ideas. We don't always agree, and that's fantastic. And we are still friends, and that's important. So we like it.
So from this day is a remarkable day, and from this day to the future, what is your aspirations for the market share here in Brazil?
Well, our aspiration is to really grow the market share that we have in Brazil. So right now, about 10-12%. Really like to move that in about 5 years to 20. But that's not the only thing. A major part also will be to really grow the presence of Brazilian genetics outside of Brazil. That's throughout Latin America. We have opportunities in Africa. We have opportunities in Southeast Asia. So I think that will be the next dream that we're going to be working on and executing throughout the world.
This is the hub to the world.
This is the hub to the world. If you look at it as a trampoline, you jump in it and you go all over the place.
Thank you very, very, very much, Huub.
You're welcome. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Eu falei aqui com o Huub Te Plate, que é o CEO global da Genex. Um forte abraço para todos vocês. E o Fala Carlão está cada vez mais internacional. Valeu, gente. Fui!